can go to our main segment, and that, my friends, is opening matches in WrestleMania. So there have been 41, and there's about to be 42 WrestleManias. And opening matches, I feel like, set the tone for the rest of the show. And there have been some 5-star matches, and there have been some stinkers, and then there have been some in between matches. So I kind of want to just I put up some match ideas and things that people have considered to be 5-star matches, and if that's your pick, that's great. If not, I want to go around the room and kind of see if you guys can tell me about like some of your favorite opening matches. I have some ideas of my own, but let me do it this way. Let's start with the one that everyone says is always the 5-star classic, the best opener match of all time, and that's Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. People call it the gold standard. Dave Meltzer, it's like one of his few 5-star matches. I think he gave a WWE match for the longest length of time. I mean, Bret versus Owen. We just watched this a week ago. A week ago, and that was an interesting way that they booked it because Owen Hart wins the match, right? I'm not delusional. Yeah. And then that kind of like, you would think it would kind of put a damper on Bret Hart, who's challenging for the WWE championships. It's like, look at this loser, he just lost to his brother in the opening match. And now you're expecting him to go, face Yokozuna and beat him for the WWF championship. And then he does. And then, Owen Hart walks out, and then they have the stare down, and they have this whole program the rest of the year. But Chris, what do you think? Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. When you watched it again a week ago, WrestleMania 10 review, what did you think of the match? Does it live up to that 5-star Dave Meltzer rating, even though I don't know why I keep using him as a measuring stick?
The gold standard. It was a good match. It was paced, it was grounded. It was obviously between two brothers that understood the assignment between each other. As far as the match goes and how it should kind of go, they sold really well. And yeah, it was a good match. I would say it's up there. What did he give it? 5 stars?
I believe it was 5 big ones.
Big booms.
Yeah, 5 big booms. Actually, it was 4 3/4, so it was like 4.5. So I mean, it's pretty close to 5 stars. Yeah, couldn't give him 5.
So many fractions, but
David, what did you think? You also watched it along with us. What were your thoughts on Bret versus Owen?
It's one of my favorite matches because it's just like, it makes sense. It's easy. Mm-hmm. Little brother, big brother, not getting along. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows big brother's really good. Everybody knows little brother's really good.
Yep.
That's why I think it didn't take anything off Bret losing, because it was like
such a good match.
It was like a prove it match to your big brother. It was like, prove that you can, be a man to your big brother, and he did. And so I think that's what that story was. It's all about the story. And you nailed it perfectly. It's like, it's that, it's the brother rivalry. It was very simple, but it told an amazing story.
Do you remember, Chris Powell, watching WrestleMania 10, or were you watching during the New Generation, or were you just more focused on WCW during that time?
I was not watching a lot of the pay-per-views. I would, keep up with Raw, but I remember watching this match. I rewatched it again. And, like what Chris was saying, it was a very, solid match. Very, technical, what you would expect from Bret and Owen. But I think what really made the match was the story, they told. And I think Vince and who was it? Who is his color? Then
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler. They were awesome. Lawler was hilarious. He kept talking about their Bret and Owen's mom having a heart attack, and how it was just like
he was saying some crazy shit.
Little does he know. Yeah,
I know. It was crazy. I was like, damn, he's really lead on this. But Vince was really, he was really good in like telling this story throughout the match of like, Owens, trying to prove it to Bret. What happens if Bret loses? Like it's, and so I think they set it up to, temper the expectations for fans. And I think just overall it was, I could see why people, consider it, a gold standard, not just from the match itself, but just from the storytelling, leading up to it, the way they told the story throughout the match, and how they ended it, too. It was a roll up, pin. So it didn't take too much luster away. I think it would have made the match better, I think if there was a legit pin, but because obviously Bret has to go out and continue to compete. That I think that's why the finish was the way it was.
It was more like, oh, you got me, instead of he really knocked him out and pinned him. Yeah. That and that, I think the way that they booked that is smart, especially if that's the way that you're going and you're going to make his younger brother beat him and then have him have a championship match. That's the way I would book it too. In terms of like the rest of the card, like people think WrestleMania 10 is great, and I think it is in certain pieces, like the beginning match, and I think the Razor Ramon match, and I think the women's match too with I think Alundra Blaze was it, and Leilani Kai was it? Man, now I'm blanking. But the women's match was good. The ladder match was good. The Bret Hart at the beginning match was good. But I felt like the rest of it wasn't as great. And I feel like these two matches.
What about me?
What about me? No, no comment. So I think the ladder match and the opening match really elevate this whole pay-per-view, and that's why people put that in the conversation a lot. But what do you guys think? Do you feel like the beginning match and like the Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon ladder match, I mean, that has to be up there because it is historic, and it really, I think, elevates the entire pay-per-view as a whole. But when you look back at the whole match card, I mean, Chris, David, it's a little fresh in your minds, and Chris Powell, maybe if you remember the rest of the match card, does it like bell to bell from the top to the bottom of the match card? How would you compare it to other WrestleManias?
I'd say 75% of the pay-per-view was good. Like I would personally skip a damn name Lex Luger match, but but overall pretty good from top to bottom. Rewatchable.
You could skip most Luger matches though, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, they're really pushing him to be the next Hulk Hogan. Yeah, nothing against the guy. He's a great guy, I'm sure, from what I've seen. And, all the best to him now and everything that he's, working on and dealing with. But yeah, I mean, the Luger match was nothing to write home about. You mentioned Mabel. They had the tag team matches. They had one that they had to write off, like probably on the fly backstage because the ladder match went over. The women's match was good, but yeah, I mean, those three matches were solid. But yeah, in terms, if you had to rank 10, I think it'd be somewhere in the like above, past the middle point, like top half. I'll say that, which is still high praise. And there have been 41 WrestleManias, so yeah. But I wouldn't say it's like one of the best of all time. So the other one that people always like to talk about is Daniel Bryan versus Triple H at WrestleMania 30. And that one, I mean, like, that's the way you kick off a fucking WrestleMania. And I do remember this one too. And I mean, just the whole lead up to this specific WrestleMania, the whole story, it wasn't the story of Daniel Bryan being a B+ player, but this was actual like wrestling WWE politics playing out too. Like their thought process was like, oh, well, they're chanting Daniel Bryan because of the yes chant or whatever. You could give it to Big Show and they'll be doing it to Big Show too. And no, they didn't. Like they wanted Daniel Bryan, and it was such an organic thing that was happening. The whole Royal Rumble fiasco and all that kind of shit. I mean, the way that they booked it on the fly to change that direction. I mean, I don't think I could have done any better. This whole gauntlet thing that they did for WrestleMania, where he has to beat Triple H in order to get involved in the main event for the title. I mean, it was chef's kiss. So I would absolutely put it up there. And I think WrestleMania 30 was definitely one of the top WrestleManias of all time. David, what did you think of D-Bry Triple H?
Thought it was a great match. Once it got to the Occupy Raw episode, that's when it was all a work.
Oh, so I mean, I was like, there's no way they all just stormed the ring and just start doing yes.
Like around there is when it turned into just like making it as much of a work as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they did have the pivot. They did have the pivot. If not, Batista would have won that night.
Yeah, that was real.
Awesome match. That was the first WrestleMania I'd watched in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'd say I was like, okay, yay, wrestling. I love wrestling.
Yeah.
What happened with Batista that night? What was the controversy? Because I wasn't really watching.
He won the Rumble, so he was supposed to be Orton.
Blue Tista?
Was Blue Tista?
Blue Tista. Blue Tista was
WrestleMania, or was it? So he turned heel during that run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was another like generational run for Batista because I loved his heel persona. Like the whole thing that he did with that, I thought that was great. So, yeah. So initially, Vince was like, oh, Batista, people love Batista. He came back after doing his movies. He had this little short run. And yeah, people were like, we want Daniel Bryan. And it was, I think, Batista versus Randy Orton.
Yep.
Yeah, and then otherwise, if Triple H won, it would have been like Evolution as the main event, triple threat. But Daniel Bryan beats Triple H, and then he gets shoved into the main event. And yeah, I mean, great opener. Chris, did you have any thoughts on D-Bry Triple H? Either Chris?
It was a great pay-per-view. I'll just say that. It's definitely up there. I definitely rank it above 10.
That showed off like where that like even in Triple H's age he could still put on like that type of match.
Yeah, I mean like, that was like he was getting pretty close to his retirement.
Yeah, that's very like Reign of Terror, seeing how long I can go.
Yeah,
like let me try to look like Flair in terms of just like the overall pace of a match.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan was the right person to do like a ring. Call it like a Ring of Honor, a Bret versus Owen type. Like those are another time that match opened the show.
I think that was before
Brothers versus Boss.
That was before Triple H's heart issue, right? Like when he had that.
Yeah, he stopped wrestling when he.
Yeah, after that, then he stopped. Yeah, because I think he had a couple still left under his belt in
Rollins and
WrestleMania
Reigns
matches. Yeah. So he had a couple, but I mean, yeah, great. And that was another one that Meltzer gave, let's see, 4 and a 4th star. Yeah, and 7/8. It was like something stupid.
In 30 seconds.
Won't give it to you.
So what do you guys think about like, okay, it was the first match of the night and the energy in that match was amazing. What do you think would have happened if they, instead of it being the opening match, they maybe put it somewhere in the middle of the card? Do you think the energy would have been the same?
It would have been different for sure. Like it would have still been good, but I feel like if you just open with that, it's just the crowd will always be hotter in that opening match. Right. I feel,
and all that shit Triple H was talking.
Yeah, it would have been different.
Yeah,
and if you don't close, I think you do want to open.
Silver Dome, brother.
Yep.
What'd you say?
I said if you don't close, you do want to open.
Oh yeah,
as a match in terms of your ranking, because the crowd is like ready to get the show started. Everyone's hot. Like, all right, let's put on a show. So I do want to kind of go around the room and kind of go into like what your personal favorites are. And if it's WrestleMania 10, hey, more power to you. I guess I can start, and then you guys, and then I'll just kind of round robin it. But I think for me, there have been a lot of like great opening matches. When I was like looking back, I was like, oh yeah, actually this was pretty badass. And one of them was WrestleMania 23, and the WrestleMania 23 opened with a Money in the Bank match, and I was like, it was this one, or I think it was 25, if I'm not mistaken. But this one I picked because of I thought the pacing was great. The spots were crazy. This was the one, and this is where I think, Dave, if you remember, like I was having this issue where I was mixing up two different spots where Joey Mercury got his face busted in. That was a different match.
Yeah,
but this was
again.
Yeah, this was like right in that season. That's that same year, I think. And then in this specific match, Jeff Hardy goes to the top, and then he does like the just ass bomb like flat onto I think it was Edge, and then they carted him out. Yeah, well, it wasn't a leg drop because he just used both his legs. He just like ass bomb like a X Factor type of thing onto the ladder. So, and this is Mr. Kennedy, where I still think that Mr. Kennedy could have had such a great run if there wasn't a series of unfortunate events happening. The Benoit thing happened that year. And then right at that time, they started doing stronger steroid checks and all that. And he got caught up in the wellness policy violations. So like that Money in the Bank thing went like he never ended up using. I think it went to Edge, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, and then he came back, had the there was going to be that illegitimate son thing where it was going to be Mr. Kennedy, but it ended up being Hornswoggle because Kennedy got that wellness policy violation. So yeah, I mean, like this is like the one that got away. I felt like during that era for Mr. Kennedy. But yeah, I mean, overall a great match. I thought King Booker in there doing the bookend off the ladder. CM Punk, I think that was like his, I think it might have been his debut. Yeah, it was his debut WrestleMania match. So that was his first WrestleMania match, was 23. And he had a great showing. I thought that was the one he was going to win, but he won 25. I think it was 24 and 25. I think he won back to back. But yeah, great opening match. I thought it was fantastic. Chris Powell, do you have an opening match that you feel like deserves to be up there in the conversation?
I don't have anything other than what we kind of discussed before. I think it's really hard, to eclipse the Bret and Owen. So as far as openers, that is my number one. Just from a storytelling standpoint, everything they did in the ring, that's my top.
Yeah, and again, like I said, that like there's some 5-star matches, and then there's some stinkers or things that aren't really considered to be as top as Bret versus Owen. Chris Housen, do you have an opener match?
I'm gonna go with the WrestleMania 22 Money in the Bank match with RVD winning the whole thing, because he had a whole cast of characters. You had Shelton, Flair, I think Lashley was in there, Finley, and Hornswoggle, and then RVD as well. And that was in Chicago, Illinois.
I'd give it to you if it was an opening match, but I don't think it was an opening match.
Was it not?
No, I think it was the tag team of Big Show and Chris Masters versus Carlito.
It would have been Big Show and Kane.
Oh, Kane, Big Show and Kane. There you go. Chris Masters, Carlito.
That was the first match. Money in Bank was the second.
Yeah,
Damn.
that was the second one.
I was wrong.
Yeah. You got another one?
You know what? Oh, I was gonna say, was it Omos and Brock Lesnar in a match?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh yeah, you think that's a 5-star classic?
No, it's just one for the Homo sapiens.
That's one for the Homo sapiens. Yes.
You had to put one on the board. David, what about you? What's on your top opener list?
WrestleMania, other than 10, 21, Rey Mysterio versus Eddie when they were a tag team and they just weren't getting along. Same story as 10.
Yeah, exactly.
The boys not getting along. Or WrestleMania 20, 1 year earlier, Big Show versus Cena for the U.S. title.
Oh yeah. I mean, like those are great openers, and like you said, sometimes the simplest story is the best story. It's literally just like, I have beef with you, I have beef with you. We have some history. Like, it doesn't always have to be like, a 2-year arc, bloodline feud, and I have your magic urn. Like just like 3, 4, or 5 different layers of story. Like sometimes it could just literally be as simple as like, I don't like you, and I think we should duke it out at WrestleMania. So the other one I wanted to also bring up literally just happened last year, and I think this is one of those matches where, like, when it ended, I was like, holy shit, that was like a really good match. And that was the triple threat between Iyo Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. That was a banger opening match, and that literally, I think, belongs in that same conversation as Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. And I thought I was delusional. And after we watched WrestleMania 10 with Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, I rewatched this triple threat match at 41, and I was like, yep, no, I'm still right. I think it belongs to be up there. So if you guys don't remember it, or listeners, if you have not watched it, or you forgot about WrestleMania 41 because you were so upset about Trevor, what's his name? Outlaw, or whatever the fuck his name is, showing up in the John Cena versus Cody Rhodes match. Revisit that opening match between Belair, Ripley, and Iyo Sky. Not
Travis
Outlaw,
Scott.
Jesus, Travis Scott. Thank you. I was thinking of freelance wrestling. I was like, Trevor Outlaw. Shout out to Trevor Outlaw, by the way. Congrats on your new title.
Right.
I meant Travis Scott. But yeah, rewatch that one because that was such a great match, and people probably were expecting Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair to win, but Iyo Sky walks in the champ and then just retains. That was like a double surprise for me. So banger match, 5 stars, and I think Dave Meltzer might have even given that match. Yeah, he actually gave it 5 stars. I think that was his first 5-star match for WrestleMania. But yeah,
Japan
I think
pace.
Yeah, it must have been. Like, that's just the thing that he gets hard to is New Japan style.
Japanese woman in the match. That's it. Instant 5.
5 stars, baby. So there were a couple of let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm curious if you guys remember these. I want to know, which one do you guys think was the better match? So WrestleMania became 2 nights 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. And each one has an opening match. So I want to give you guys, well, hold on. Let me first call them. I want to see what you guys think who the better match is. So let's go for most recent. I'll just work my way backwards. So Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, or Iyo Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley.
B.
You can shout it out.
The ladder.
B. The ladder.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, Gunther versus Jey Uso. I mean, it was okay. It was okay. And I don't want to like dogpile on Jey Uso because that's like the cool thing to do on the internet. I think he's a cool guy. But if I just had to be objective, I do think the triple threat match was just a much better match. All right, 40 was Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, or Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
That Drew and Seth was really good.
Yeah. That was the one that there's CM Punk was he on commentary? He was on the side just talking shit, right? And then yeah.
Yeah, that was the match Seth wrestled with torn ACL and just spammed his finishers.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. And I think that's just like a generational thing. It's the same thing with like Cody Rhodes wrestling with a torn pec, purple ass pec, Hell in a Cell match. He's just gonna like walk it off. Thinks that that's cool. Even he tells his students that if you're injured or whatever, he tells them like you shouldn't just like pretend that it's like not there or just kind of like suffer through it. He's telling them like if you're injured, you should take the time and rest. And then he's like, well, do as I say, not as I do, clearly, because he did not follow his
You're
own
not
advice.
Cody Rhodes, baby.
Cody Rhodes.
I think that's his excuse. He's like, you're not Cody Rhodes, bitch. So, okay. 39, Austin Theory versus John Cena for the U.S. Championship, or Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
Brock Omos.
Homosexuals.
Where are my Homo sapiens at, baby? Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with that. I mean, Cena versus Theory, I thought was a little sluggish.
It's the ultimate Vince match. The Vinnie Mac
Cena
match.
versus
Nah,
Theory?
Omos and Lesnar, baby.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Big man slapping man meat, as Simon Miller says, right?
Big E.
I mean, I agree with that. All right, let's take it back to 38. The Usos. I honestly do not remember this. The Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs, or RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy.
That's terrible. Rick Boogs gets my vote.
Triple threat. The triple threat. Boogs blew his shit out that match.
Yeah.
And the Usos were gonna win, but they won anyways, and the match got cut short because Boogs blew a tire.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to like deadlift both of them at the same time or some shit.
Damn, got his ass.
Props.
Or yeah,
what happened to Rick Boogs anyway? Did he just get shelved permanently after
he
that?
got let go, and he's like a YouTube and TikToker, still being Boogs.
Damn. So yeah, I mean, I think I think that tag team match was the better of the three, and like you said, I think the injury mid match and cutting it short kind of goes off. All right, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, or Randy Orton versus The Fiend. I don't know if I've watched this one.
Rip the Fiend.
I've seen WrestleMania clips of these two. I'm gonna go with Lashley versus Drew. I'll say that.
That was a COVID match, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. 37.
Or that was whenever they lit The Fiend on fire.
Oh yeah, that was 2021. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was, that was in front of a screen. But that was where Lashley defeated Drew McIntyre to retain it, I think, right? He put him in a hurt lock. Because I think did he win in 2020?
He beat Lesnar in 2020.
Yeah. So, I mean, man, talk about like just thinking about like the whole COVID WrestleMania stuff that just sucked. Like, I feel like that has got to be like up there as like the worst WrestleManias purely just because of the whole like COVID thing. Like, you got to put it at the bottom. I know like you have to work with what you got, like you don't have a choice that you can't have 60,000 people, but just, it just kind of takes away the magic from it. So I think that the WrestleMania as a whole, 37 and 36, I think they have to be kind of closer to the bottom for me.
Oh no, 37 was in front of people because they did it in Florida.
Was it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Florida was the first state that opened up, right?
Yeah.
Fuck
but I
them
think
masks.
it wasn't full capacity, right? It was like every other seat or whatever. Wasn't that the one where it was raining and Samoa Joe was like commentating or
Samoa with the poncho?
Yeah. So, okay. So 36 for sure, closer to the bottom. Yes, you're right. They had people there. But yeah, it just 36 and 37 just still didn't feel the same for me. 2022, when they when they started getting more people, and it was 2022 was when Cody Rhodes had the Seth Rollins match, right? 38, and that was Steve Austin. Yeah, Steve Austin match. Like that was a great pay-per-view. That was in Texas, right? Dallas. Yep. Yeah, that was a great Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, same shit. Well, not same shit, but Cowboys play there.
We just lost viewers.
Chris Paul, you know.
Well, yeah, my family's from there too, so I'm careful, not careful.
Yeah, I mean that was a great WrestleMania.
Bears playing in Arlington Heights or Indiana, same shit.
Tomato, Chicago Bears.
Right.
I guess we'll see. But I think that is a wrap for this episode of the Chi-Town Shoot Wrestling Podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate us, and leave your feedback. Tune in next time for more wrestling madness. Until then, keep marking out.